డిగ్రీ చదివి సాఫ్ట్వేర్ జాబ్ కోసం ఎదురు చూస్తున్నారా?
క్యాంపస్ ఇంటర్వ్యూలో మీరు సెలెక్ట్ కాలేదా?
అయితే మీకు VMR ఇన్ఫోటెక్ వారి శుభవార్త.
మీకు 6 నెలలు సమగ్రమైన ట్రైనింగ్ ఇచ్చి వివిధ రకాలైన సాఫ్ట్వేర్ కంపెనీలలో అర్హతను బట్టి ఆకర్షణీయమైన ప్యాకేజీలతో జాబ్ తీసివ్వబడును.
జాబ్ గ్యారంటీ ట్రైనింగ్.
15 సంవత్సరాల అపార అనుభవం గల కార్పొరేట్ ఇండస్ట్రీ ఎక్స్పర్ట్స్ తో ట్రైనింగ్ ఇవ్వబడును.
కోర్సెస్ ఆఫర్డ్ ఫ్రంట్ ఎండ్ డెవలప్మెంట్, బ్యాక్ ఎండ్ డెవలప్మెంట్, మెన్ అండ్ మీన్ స్టాక్ డెవలప్మెంట్, జావా ఫుల్ స్టాక్, పైథాన్ ఫుల్ స్టాక్, .NET ఫుల్ స్టాక్.
మరిన్ని వివరాలకు సంప్రదించండి. VMR ఇన్ఫోటెక్, డోర్ నంబర్ 19-182, రెట్రో స్ట్రీట్, మిత్తూర్, చిత్తూర్. కాల్ 9663856625
9844007925
and 7760355535.
Hi friends, I am Murali here. Today we are going to build Angular CRUD application. So this is what the application we are going to build. You can edit this, like you can update, so you can see it is reflecting over here. You can delete, you can add the new user as well, like here we see. So I'm going to build similar kind of application. Before that, let me give you what exactly I'm trying to do. So let me open Paint. So let me take the screenshot of this. Okay. Here, this particular block. This will be a single component. Inside this, this will be a child component. It means the outermost one is going to be parent, the innermost one is going to be child. So basically, by doing this CRUD application, I am also going to explain to you how you can communicate from parent to child. First step. Second step, from child to parent means when you click edit button in child component, how the parent component will get the value. When you click delete component, how that particular delete functionality will be happen inside the child component. These are all the points we are going to discuss now. So without wasting much time, let's start the application. I'm going to create an application. ng new Angular CRUD parent child. So it will take some time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video. I will be back once this application is ready. Okay, my application is ready. Now let's cd into Angular CRUD parent code space dot, which will open the code into Visual Studio Code. Okay, now let's start the application. ng serve open. Meanwhile, parallelly we need to have a local server as well. I am using what happened? Acha. Okay, something is already running. So let me give --- port 4201. It should work. Let's see what happens. Perfect. My application is up. Now, the second thing I am trying to convey is we need to have a server. So I do have the local server here. How this can be set up is it's a very simple node based application which will act as a local server. So if you want to know about this, please do comment. I can create a separate video for that, or You can just follow this, or you can use any other API, whatever you have. Okay, and now how to start this server? I think this server is already up. I will stop this. So this is a simple JSON server. You can find the details here. JSON server npm. This is a simple JSON server. You can go to this official website. You can find the step-by-step instructions how you can create the local server. Hope you can able to get this. Okay, now let me start this local server. Bash JSON server hyphen watch db.json. So this is the command which we need to give to start the local server. So I think it's up. Let me check this. Cool. This is the data I'm getting from the server. Okay, now let's go to the Angular component. Let me go to source app.html. I'm going to remove everything. Right now nothing is there. That's it. You can check the browser. This is the old one. So you can see it's a blank screen. Perfect. So first thing, we need to have a simple form in our parent component. To have a simple form, what I'm going to do is I'm going to Bootstrap website. Let me add the dependency of the Bootstrap first. So copy this link. Now come back to our application. It's not the one. Let me close this to avoid the confusion. So come to index.html. In say head section, I have added Bootstrap. Perfect. Now I need a form, simple form. So these are all the Bootstrap forms. Copy this. Come to app component. Now I'm in app component. Div dot container. Is this. Perfect. I have a simple form. Now I don't need these checkboxes or this kind of these things. I don't require. I'm going to get rid of that one. So go to this checkbox, remove this. When I don't need password right now. What I need is like it will be mail I need. Okay. So this one will be user name and this will be text. I don't need ID. I don't need this as well. Let the placeholder will be there. I don't need this small tag. Here also I don't need this ID. I don't need this one as well. I don't need this small also. Let me check. Perfect. So I have username, email address. Okay, now this is a simple HTML form. So we need to convert this as an Angular form. To do that, number one step which we need to do is go to the app module.ts. To use Angular form, we need to import Angular forms module. Forms module we need to import Angular forms. Forms module. Perfect. Next, come to the component. Here we need to give the reference for the form like this. User form equal to ng form. Super. Make sure that you don't have any errors here. Perfect. I don't have any errors. Super. Now this button supposed to be a type button. It should not be a submit. Let me add a click event. Click. Add user. This method is not here, not there in our TS file. We need to create this method in our TS file. Okay, not in the module. We need to go to the component over here. Add user. So add user code. When I click the button, we need to get this console statement, means that button is perfectly working fine. Now let me come to HTML. See, now this input is not associated with your form. How I am telling, if I pass this form to this event and I can receive it here, and if I console, this has to be value. Console no. If I check, see, it is empty object. It shows nothing is there inside the form. But actually, we have couple of input fields. One is email or placeholder. Let me change. User name. Okay, one is username, the other one is email. We have two input fields, but it is showing that nothing is there. How can we connect this input field? For that, first thing I need to have a name attribute. This is username. The second thing I need to have ng model. That's it. Let me do the same thing for email address also. Name attribute, email, and ng model. Now see, when I submit the button, I am getting two properties. Now my HTML form became Angular form, and both the input fields, email and username, is successfully associated with the form. Okay. If I enter some values also, I should be able to capture it. Perfect. See, I can able to get the username and password. Now, I need to post this particular data to the server. How can I do that? To have the communication with the server, I'm going to have a service. I will name that service as a common service. So let me create a simple service. Ng generate service common. So it will create a simple service. Can you see? Can you able to see this? This is a simple service. This service is going to take care of entire my CRUD operation. Means create user, read user, or get latest users, update user, and finally delete user. So these are the four activities which we are going to do, but all the four activities is ultimately going to be taken care by common service. Wherever the component you are in, it could be parent component or child component, but these four operations will be taken care by the common service. Now let me go to app component. First I need to import that particular service as an I need to import that particular service to use it. How can I do that? I need to add as a dependency private common service. This could be anything, whatever the variable you prefer. You can give, like, you can give CS, which means common service, but I prefer to give a full descriptive name, common service, and this is a type of common service. This is the actual service which we have created. See, the red line is showing. You can see that cannot find name common service. You can quickly fix this. Mouse or quick fix. You can click on this. It will suggest you to import that. Okay, I'm selecting that. So I have successfully imported that. Okay, now my service is ready. Now let me send this to that particular service. This dot common service dot create user, send this object. Okay, before sending, it needs to have that particular object needs to have a ID. So let obj equal to common service, obj equal to obj dot id equal to 1. So I need to have ID property. That's why I'm hard coding it here. Once it is done, let me send to the service. Now go to the service. See the error, because in your service, this create user method is not ready to receive any arguments. So I'm going to create obj. Now it's ready to get some argument. Now if you see, error is gone. Okay. Now just console.log. obj. Now see, once you enter some value, way more red. Oh, so one is from app component, the another one is from service. So I have captured the value from parent component, means from app component. Then I have created a service. Inside that service, I have created a method called create user. So my data came up to the service layer. Now from here, I need to send it to server. To send to server, we need to have a HTTP client module, which is actually going to take care the responsibility of server communication. Once again, the same way how we have did to use forms module, means we went to app module.ts, we have added forms module, then only we have started using the forms module, right? In the same way, we need to have HTTP client module is supposed to be imported. Import. This is actually from Angular common HTTP. Perfect. HTTP client module. Perfect. Now our module is ready, but to use this HTTP service, we need to import HTTP client like this, private underscore HTTP client. So let me import this. Perfect. This underscore HTTP is going to help me to post the data from this service to the server. Now this dot HTTP dot post. What is the URL I need to use is, this is the API which I need to use to post the data. Post and obj, whatever I have received. Okay, now this URL is going to return you a observable. So these observables I am going to handle in my component. The people who don't know about observables, don't worry, I am going to create a different and detailed video about observables. So as of now, this observable is something I can say that which you are going to get a response from the server after you successfully post it. How it needs to be handled, I am going to show you now. So this is supposed to be returned. Where it is going to be returned? Wherever you use this create user method. Where you are using this create user method? App component over here. So I need to subscribe for the observable. So a function inside this. Now I am going to get a response that user added successfully. Perfect. Okay, now let's go to this. Let's get some way more linear. There is some problem. What was the problem? Let me go to this one. Let me check duplicate ID. Oh, ID is duplicate ID. It means in what you call the server already the ID which you are sending might be exist. So let me go to the local server. So this is the server I am using. The db.json is the file which is going to contain entire data. So see, there is ID already exists which we are trying to send. So let me get rid of all the data. Right now my API is empty. I don't have any data here, so you should be able to accept it. Oh, let me add now. Let me clear the console. Let me clear the network. Perfect. I think it added. User email, header, response. Let me go to the db.json. Super. So this is the object which got created in my db.json. So let me add. Okay, if you see, after adding, still the data is exist over here. So I would like to clear that form once the data is posted. So what I am going to do is, I will take this form name. So user form.form.reset. Hopefully we should be able to clear that. Now let me remove leave not one. Remove leave not one. Okay, what happened? 1 second ID. Okay, only one time this ID has to be numeric. Next, every time it has to be null only, because it will auto increment. It will get auto increment. So now see, not one. Let me use this not one. Perfect. The form also got cleared. If I go to db.json, I have the data here. Okay, now after you post the data, that's supposed to be displayed below this particular form. To display the data, I'm going to create a table, but that will be in a different component. So let me go to the command prompt. Now I'm going to create a component ng generate component user. So this will create a component called user component. Okay, now let me come to app component.html. Below this form, below everything, let me have a one horizontal line, and then app user. See, perfect. User works. This is the place where I am going to create the table. Now I will go to Bootstrap, get some table. So I think this looks good for me. Copy this. Go to user component.html. Remove this. Div.container. Div.container. So I don't want all this rows. Let me remove this. So if you see, this is the table. Cool. Now, after you add a user here, once the user successfully added to the to the data, that information has to reach to this user component so that it can fetch the latest data from the API. How the user component, means child component, will get the information from its parent that it has posted or a user is created. To do that, we need to raise a event. Okay, now let's go to that particular service. Okay, here let me create a variable called user update or user added. This is actually a new subject. So this subject from RxJS will help us to communicate from one component to another component that user is added. Now let me come back to user component, app component. Once the user is added, now this dot, okay, I need to have a method to do that. Inform child. This is the method I am going to use to inform the child. So what this method is going to do, this dot update user added. Okay, I think user added dot next. This the method will be triggered once the user added. Now come to app component, this dot common service dot inform child is the method I'm going to use. So once this is called, what it will going to do is it will use the next method to update the child component. Now I need to go to child component, that is user component. I need to inject the service first. Now this dot common service dot user added dot subscribe dot response. So user added in parent or user added from parent component. Okay, now let me open this console. Let me create vmuli at gmail.com. Once I added, see, child component also got the information that user is added. Once child component got the information or got the message from the parent component about a user added, then we should call the method this dot common service dot get latest users dot get latest users, go to common service. Yeah, get latest users, supposed to return the observable. This dot underscore http dot get. So pass this URL to get the data. Once it returns this value, go back to the user component, subscribe for that. No subscribe here. Response. Now let me add the user here. One vmurali 103 vmurali 103 at gmail.com. Perfect. I got the users. Now let me declare a variable, this dot all users equal to response. This all users supposed to be declared. Perfect. I have declared. Let me make it any, so that now this object I am going to this data I am going to use in user component. So go to the user component.html, body tr. This is going to store ng4. Let user of all users. Now ph. Sorry, it should be td, right? Why should I use td? Replaces user dot what is the first one is, what are the values? One is username and email. I think I need to have only two fields, so let me use username, email. So remove this. So let us skip blank one. td user dot email. Sorry, first should be username. Username td user dot email. Perfect. Okay, now what I will do is go to user component. This particular method I will create a different function, means get latest users. I'm going to call this get latest user here. This dot get latest users. Okay, and not only now, by default also I am going to call this particular block will be called when user added in parent component, and at the same time by default also I want to call same method. So I am going to do this. See, I got the data. Okay, now along with this I need to have a couple more TDs here. First H, one is for edit, one is for delete, and I need to have 2D here, button, edit, click this, I need to call edit user, one more TD, button, delete, and I click this, delete user. Perfect. And I think I need to add some bootstrap classes. Class btn hyphen info, or let us have warning class btn hyphen dan danger. Super. Now these two methods I have to create. These two methods, edit user. I need to, whenever you click the edit user button, I need to pass the user object. Whenever you click the delete button, I need to pass the user object. So go to this user component, create edit user, and we're passing user right, so you receive here. And at the same time, I need to create delete user as well. Same for this also, we are passing an object there, so let us receive user. Let's check whether we are successfully sending the user object or not. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Now I will finish the delete user first, then I will go to edit. Edit user is bit tricky. We need to handle a lot of things, but delete user is straightforward. Just what we need to do is we need to call this dot common service dot delete user. For this, pass this user. Oh, so we are getting an error. It means in common service we haven't created. Yes, we haven't done anything here. So it's supposed to return an observable this dot underscore http dot delete in URL. So pass this first. Then I need to pass the ID as well, plus user dot ID. Append user, right? User dot ID. So this, there should not be this. It's straight away user dot ID. That's it. So we need to receive this, right? Perfect. If you go to user component, once edit user done, then sorry, one delete user is done. Press subscribe, response. So once the deleting is done, we need to get the latest users available, which is here. So this dot get latest users. So means if you have 4 objects and 4 users, you are sending a API request to delete that particular user. So in server now 4 minus 1, only 3 records available, but in UI still 4 will be there. By calling this method once again, I am making sure that whatever the information available in server, the same will be updated in UI as well. Now let me delete VM only 100. Perfect. This one, perfect. So delete functionality is done. Now comes edit functionality. Okay, when you click edit, you are getting this object, but where this object supposed to go, it's supposed to go to this particular form, which is in parent component. So we need to do the arrangement to send the object from child to parent. How it is? To do that, we need a output decorator. Output. So we need to give a name for that. Send to parent. So it's supposed to have a new event emitter class. So let's import this. Cool. when we need to raise this event. This is actually the custom event which we have created to raise whenever we need to send some information from child to parent. Okay, when you see in UI, when I click the edit button, then I need to send this information. So let me go to edit user functionality over here. Now this dot send to parent dot emit. While emitting, you need to send the user. Perfect. Now this custom event we need to capture in the parent component. So let me go to app component.html. Say this is the place where we have used child. Inside the child only we have created the custom event. So this is the custom event and we have created. Now we need to receive user. We need to receive through $event. So see, this particular custom event belongs to the child component, which is actually helping us to raise the event to pass the whatever information which we need to pass to the parent. Now we need to create this particular method in parent component, that is app component. Go to app component, below the add user, receive user. So this is going to receive user and console log user. Let's see. Perfect. It went to app component as well. Perfect. It went to app component from child component. Now what we need to do, we need to bind this object to the input fields. To do that, let me create a variable. Let user obj equal to I think first one is the username. Let's have an empty quote. Email, let's have an empty quote, and ID, let's have empty quote by default, no problem. So this is supposed to be binded to our input fields by default. So go to app component.html. Over here, to do the two-way data binding, this ng model, we need to make it as a two-way data binding like this. This is called banana in box. Equal to which object we need to bind is user object. Perfect. Now user object dot username. Copy this. User object dot email. So far so good, no errors. But only thing what we need to do is, when you click the button, when you receive the data over here, this dot user object, okay, user object equal to, I'm going to use object dot assign over here. What this method is going to do is, it will take this object, it will create a new object, and that object will be added to user object, which is actually binded to the input fields in our form. Now see what happens. I click edit. Perfect. And when I click edit, instead of submit button, let's add update button. So it will look good, you know. Let's have one more button update. This will be if should be visible is edit is true. Then let's have a class button dot primary. When you click this update, you need to add update user. So that can also send this form. This update user function is not available as of now. Go to app component.ts, create the update user. So I'm going to receive this user form here like this. Form.value. Okay. So far so good. Now when you edit this, submit button. So still submit button is there. Update button has to come right for us. So when you edit this dot is edit through it should be clear, right? Go to app component. So this update button has to be visible when is edit is true, and edit button has to be visible when is edit and is edit is not true. See, perfect. When I click edit, superb. Once you click on the update button, go to user component, app component.ts. Once update button is done, this dot is edit equal to false. Let's see. If you click edit, update button is coming. Once you click update button, submit button is coming. So far so good. Okay, now let's write the update functionality as well. To write update functionality, this dot common service dot update user. For this, we need to send user. We need to send a user. No, I don't think so. We need to send user object. So rather than sending user object over here, okay, we don't need to send the user object here. What we will do is go to app component.ts. Instead of sending user object, I will send this user object, which is associated with the ng model. Okay. Why this error? Okay, it's because of the service. Now go to the service. There we can correct this error. Go to the service. Yes, it is not ready to receive any value. Now return this dot underscore http update. Okay, to put this, I need this URL. Place along with user.id, then user. This has to be written. Now come to app component. This one we need to subscribe. So console log user updated. Once the user is updated, this dot, we need to inform to the child component that user is updated so that you can get the latest information. So like this. and this will help us to return the buttons. That's it. And this will help us to reset the form once it is updated. Perfect. So now edit, update. There is an error, cannot read property form of undefined. Okay, this is because in app.component while updating you are not sending the, I think it should be done. Oh, its value is getting updated. Cool. So let me remove the updated. Update it. Perfect. No error. So I can create 104. Perfect. Updated. I can edit. Updated. Perfect. I can tell it. Perfect. So this is how we can do complete CRUD operation with multiple components. In current scenario, in this scenario, what I have did is the form is in parent component, table is in child component. So in this, what we have did is first we have captured the values from the parent component, then we informed child component that we posted some information to the server, please take the latest. Done. It took the latest and displayed. Once it is done, if you click edit, we send the information from child to the parent because the form is actually available in parent component. Perfect. Once the data populated to the parent component form, we have updated it. Once it is updated, immediately it has to inform to the child component. Basically, here to the parent or to the child, we have so many communications we had. So with help of output decorator and event emitter class and behave subject we have used. So I think I came to the end of this application, whatever I have planned. In my next video, what I am trying to plan is, let me do like this. So this will be like this, same, but this time, this particular form will be the child. This is child and this is parent. So whatever we have did from parent to child, now in this scenario from child to parent, this is one scenario I want to cover in my next video. After that, what I am planning is let these two components, these two components are siblings. So it doesn't have any relationship between each other. In this scenario, how this communication can be happen? Completely. The capturing and informing to the sibling will get the information that one user is added into the server and I need to get the latest. So immediately the sibling component will get the data from the server. Then once you click on edit, that particular information has to send to the sibling component where the data actually has to be populated. So basically it's two isolated components. I will explain you step by step how two isolated components can be communicated. I think that's it in this video from my side. I sincerely request you people, if you feel that this video might be useful to you or somebody else, I request please comment, give your opinion, which definitely boost me, which will definitely encourage me. Your comments will definitely encourage me If I did any mistake, please do comment so that I will correct myself. I will update in my upcoming video so that others will get benefit. And please do share. Thanks a lot. I am Murli here. It's great time to be with you. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Bye.